Back in January, Watson led the Tigers to their second ever national title, but right now he is crushing it in the NFL with the Houston Texans. Does his absence crush their ACC and national title repeat hopes?
Absolutely it does. I think Deshaun Watson, guys, I think Florida State, I know we're going to get into Florida State, they're going to win the ACC, but when you look at Clemson, Deshaun Watson is irreplaceable. You know, he's one of those guys that is so valuable to your football team, and it's not the touchdowns or the wins, it's the moments in big games. We saw that in the national championship last year. He threw a bunch of picks in his career last year, and everyone wanted to harp on the interceptions, but for me, who would you want the ball in their hand with 2 minutes? Deshaun Watson. And I know they have a young quarterback coming in. I just don't think you can coach those moments, and I think that's why Clemson doesn't win the ACC this year.
Yeah, and with Florida State returning, obviously, their quarterback from a year ago, experience-wise, and then a defense. And I've been associated with Florida State, following them for 25 years. When they have a great defense and a dominant defense, they're a great football team. And that's what you're looking at this year with Florida State. And coming out of the spring, everybody's talking about this running back, Cam Akers, a freshman. They're starting to compare him to Dalvin Cook. If that's for real, they're for real.
Guys, Matt, I mean, I hear you about Deshaun Watson, about the moments and even the stats and everything like that, but I don't want to pass over the fact that Deshaun Watson was literally the heartbeat of Clemson football. He was the soul of the program. And I know Dabo is still there, and they've got talented players, in particular on the defensive side, but you don't replace the soul of your program in 1 year. Think about some of the other guys that have been just the entire soul of a program. Tim Tebow, Marcus Mariota, Vince Young at Texas.
Matt
yes, sir. He had some other guys. There are guys. And when you look at the transitions from those type of players, Jameis Winston at Florida State, it's even harder. It's not just the play on the field, but it's everything that comes along with that from an ownership, leadership standpoint in the locker room. I think Clemson's going to struggle. That's why I think Florida State is the team to beat in the ACC.
Yeah, I think Florida State is a team to beat as well, because you mentioned it, Coach. You talk about them and how good they are defensively. Remember the conversation we were having? They gave up at least 450 yards on defense in that three-game stretch at the start of last year. Everybody's like, hey, Charles Kelly, this is a terrible defense.
It ain't working.
At the end of the year, this defense was absolutely ferocious. And you add a fast, ferocious, big safety in Derwin James back to the mix this year. This is a guy that had 9.5 tackles for loss, including 4.5 sacks 2 years ago, went down early with an injury last year. He's going to be back. Florida State is going to be dynamite defensively. They will win the ACC.
And, you know, their schedule is tough. I mean, they could lose a game, but if they can get to the championship game, I don't see anybody from the Coastal Division being strong enough to keep them out of the playoffs.
Your Hurricanes.
Whoa. I love the Hurricanes.
Easy.
And I bypassed Pitt, too. So
last ACC line. Remember how good Louisville was in the beginning of the season? Only had that 6-point loss at Clemson, and then they crashed, losing their last 3 games. Got the Heisman winner back.
Yeah, pretty good.
We'll talk Heisman in a little bit.